Hey everyone, it's Mike with It's Pittsfield Tonight. I am here at 49 Madison Avenue with Bill Molnar, the owner of the Madison Cafe. Bill, thanks for taking the time to do this today.
You're welcome. Very welcome.
And we've done over the past couple months we did a video and some pictures and things on this. So a lot of people know what we've been doing, which is a mural that went on the building, covering the Madison Ave side and the Seymour side.
Yes.
And then the other side facing up towards North Street, you can purchase bricks in honor or in memory of a veteran.
Yes.
And that money is going to the Traveling Vietnam Wall that's coming in September.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So that catches us up to right now.
Okay.
So the mural has been finished.
Yes.
Okay, so for those who don't know, from this point, after what I explained, where are we now?
Well, right now, the names that are going on the wall is still ongoing. There is no deadline. You can come down anytime you want, purchase a brick. The money's going to go to the same place.
And how much is it to purchase a brick?
$10 a brick. And as of right now, we have raised approximately $2,200. And there are 192 names on the wall.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So how did this start? We know that, I know you came on my show twice, and we talked about doing something, and we talked. The pandemic happened, everything else happened. I put you in touch with one of our city councilors, and you can take it from there.
Karen Kalinowski has been instrumental in making this entire project happen. If it wasn't for Karen, come on Karen, if it wasn't for Karen, you would still be looking at a very unattractive green building with the paint peeling.
Okay, so Karen, I spoke to you, I asked if you would come down and see Bill. What happened from there?
He talked to me in regard to a few things, and then he told me about the graffiti on the building, and he was asking me what he could do about it. And I told him, well, I'd paint over it, not keeping it up there. And he said, well, they'll just graffiti again. And so I looked back in my career and said, well, you know, I've noticed when artists put murals up, the taggers tend not to tag the murals.
So he called you as a constituent?
Yes.
Wanting some help of how do I stop people tagging my building?
Yes.
Okay. How did we get to the idea of this mural?
Well, that actually came from one of his friends.
Okay.
I wanted it, it was suggested to me, I wanted it to be veterans themed because there's no place in Pittsfield where the veterans that I'm aware of where the veterans can go to socialize. And I wanted this place to be someplace where they can come and they can sit and socialize, play cards, watch TV.
Okay, so you had a passion for veterans.
I do, because my mother and my uncle were both World War II veterans.
Okay, so when we got to the idea of we want to do something with the veterans, how did the artist come into play that actually did the mural?
That's Karen.
I contacted Stephanie Quetty and asked her if she would be interested. By then, one of his patrons had shown us a picture of a flag with the different veteran services on it. And we showed that to Stephanie.
And Stephanie is a local artist?
Yes.
Okay. Stephanie?
Yes.
I know, I see you over there dancing.
I gotta have fun.
So a little more this way, I want to make sure Stephanie's in. You can stand right in front of Karen. Perfect. So, Stephanie, where did the idea of turning the building basically into a waving flag, where did that come from?
They showed an image of one-sided mural, probably a 10 by 10, to go on the Seymour Street wall. But once they showed me that, I just saw it in my mind that it should be on both sides and, you know, have a dynamic presence.
Now, is murals something that, as an artist, something that you specialize in? Is that your thing?
I love to do them. I don't know if it's a specialty, but yeah, I love to do it. It's so much fun to do public art because you have cheering sections driving by or walking by saying, "Great job, it looks wonderful." So it encourages you to keep going on and on.
Now, as you know, since you guys started this, there's been a lot of requests for other locations that are all excited. But this takes a lot of time and resources and volunteers and money. How did we get to the point where we were able to do the mural, the paint? How did all that happen?
We had about 20 dedicated painter volunteers, people we know and people who just wanted to be involved. And we worked really hard, and especially in the weather, given how hot it was. And, you know, it was about 6 weeks of time, about 2 to 3 days per week, and about 6 hours per day. The last day we did about 8 hours because we had scaffolding and it made the job easier. So the volunteers really made it happen, and we got all the paint donated by Car Hardware. So that was really special because, you know, you need bright, beautiful colors to make a mural.
Obviously, that's the big expense with this. So this couldn't have happened without the generosity of Bart at Car Hardware. So Bart is standing right here, and he's not dancing.
Great lead, I know, Stephanie. Thank you. Yeah.
So Bart, good to see you.
Great to see you as well.
So you're always involved in tons of stuff in the community, and this is something that it's so cool because this is a very high traffic area, and this really pops out in the neighborhood. So when you were approached, how did this go on your end?
Well, I think Bill did a great job explaining the impact of the project, and veterans and up or down, you know, this core section of downtown is important. And it, you know, when you find out Stephanie's involved, you know, it's going to be a class job, and I'm encouraging and looking forward to her doing more murals in our downtown. And this is a great project, and we're so proud and happy to be involved in it.
And Bart, I want to thank you for everything you've done, because without you and Karen and Stephanie, this wouldn't have been possible.
We're thrilled to do our part.
And Bill, we expect, I mean, I'm sure you're out here every morning picking up butts, and
yeah.
So we're on top of the property. This is going to be beautiful from this point forward.
Yes.
Awesome. Well, thank you to Bart, thank you to Karen, thank you to Stephanie, everyone on the art. It's an amazing project. If you haven't seen it, definitely come down to the Madison. So another interview I did, which was with Tony Martini. Many of you saw that on my show. And Tony is part of the organization that's bringing the traveling Vietnam Memorial Wall to Dalton, and I believe it's on September 15th. So Tony is here, and this mural ties into that, again, with the bricks that are in memory or honor of a veteran. The funds from that are going to that exhibit coming here in September. So Tony, thank you for taking the time to do this.
Thank you.
And it's been a couple months since I've seen you.
Yeah.
So, Bill, this is where we tie into that exhibit that's coming in September.
Yes.
So what made you decide to do that?
By accident, I was coming out of Greylock Federal, and I saw Tony, and I saw he had a picture of the traveling Vietnam Wall in his car. So I introduced myself to him.
You didn't know each other prior?
I did, but you know, he used to work with my sister, but he gave me a couple of flyers, and I made copies of it and posted them inside the bar. And then I'm thinking, he told me what the expense was to have the wall come up here, and I said, fine, then I'm going to do something to try to raise money.
Now, what is that total expense, Tony?
To bring it here, $15,000.
Okay, so about $15,000. And where are you at now?
Can't say at the moment, but we're close.
Okay. You feel confident, though, it's going to happen?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
And Bill, where are you at now that you've been able to contribute?
Right now, like I said earlier, I have raised about $2,200 towards the wall.
Awesome. And there's space for how much more? Do you know?
Oh, well, let's see. Probably about 500 more bricks are available. Plus, I have an additional fundraiser going on inside the bar.
Okay, so people can come down to the Madison at 49 Madison Avenue.
Yes.
Come in, sign a sheet, give you $10, and they can get a name on the wall.
Absolutely.
It's that simple.
That's simple.
All right, so you heard it. Come down to the Madison or call Bill. It's $10. It goes to something that is so important. Honoring our Vietnam veterans is something that in recent years we really started stepping up, and I think we need to do that for the men and women who served us. It's very important. They went through a rough run coming out of that war, and the recognition they've been getting recently is well deserved, and it's been a long time coming.
Well, one of the sayings that I've heard several veterans say is, all gave some gave all.
Well, Tony, I'll see you. You'll have to let me know in September when I see you at the exhibit and what the total was, how everything came out. Bill, this is awesome. Thank you again to Bart Razor at Car Hardware, Stephanie Quetty, and our at-large counselor Karen Kalinowski, and of course Bill Molnar.
Thanks, Mark.